talk to me first of all, Change UK. Can they really kind of capture the imagination of quite a fatigued general population? And what are they really calling for?
Well, they're trying to combat that fatigue. I mean, they are a party, a new party formed by breakaway MPs from both Labour and the Conservatives, trying to kind of shake up the two-party system, or the effective two-party system that there is in the UK. But although they launched a few months ago with a lot of fanfare, the latest opinion polls ahead of these European elections suggest that they've not really had that much impact. Around 8% are saying that they will support them. Compare that with Nigel Farage's new Brexit party, not his old UKIP, as new party, and it's leading the polls around 23% and really leaving the old UKIP trailing in its wake. The problem, I think, for Change UK is that it hasn't made any inroads in forging any kind of an alliance in the European style with any of the other pro-Remain parties. So if you are someone who intends to vote for a People's Vote or a pro-Remain candidate in these European elections, you have a choice between Change UK, the Liberal Democrats, the Green Party. You might still be allies to one of the two establishment parties as to whether or not their local candidate favours EU membership. So they haven't managed to form any kind of electoral pact that could shore up the pro-Remain vote, and that will undoubtedly be a weakness for them in this poll.
So that's looking ahead to the European Parliament elections. But on home turf in the UK, how is Brexit progressing? Is there any kind of glimmer of hope between those opposition party conversations?
Yeah, I mean, let's remind ourselves of the state of play. Theresa May has failed now 3 times to get her withdrawal agreement through Parliament. Now she's trying to reach out to the opposition Labour Party to get their votes over the line. Those talks have been underway for several weeks. The leaders, the senior ministers running those talks did take a break for Easter, but there were more junior officials working away over Easter, but very little tangible sign of actual progress. Before they broke up, the ministers from the Labour side of the fence were saying the Conservatives were still not taking their core demand that Britain should remain in a customs union with the EU seriously, and Theresa May's team reminding them that actually the withdrawal agreement contains many of the benefits of a customs union, such as tariff-free trade, although Britain would still be able to do trade deals with other countries. And I think the reality for these talks is that from Labour's perspective, what motivation really is there for them to help the Conservative Party, the Conservative government, deliver Brexit? They very much have their sights on weakening Theresa May's government and hoping to trigger a general election.
Well, let's talk about the future of the Prime Minister. We heard there that this 1922 committee may be saying, you know, it's time for the Prime Minister to go. Remind us, what is the 1922 committee and how serious is this threat? Yeah,
I mean, they can say what they want for the time being, although we'll see exactly what their words actually mean. When we talk about the 1922 committee, it effectively represents all Conservative backbenchers, every MP other than those that are on the government's front bench. It is a powerful group, and cast your mind back to just before last Christmas, they did actually trigger a formal process of no confidence in Theresa May, but they failed. And what that means for Theresa May is that she's safe from this process until December of this year. Now, there has been some talk about them trying to change the rules so that 1 year of immunity would no longer apply, but of course that's one hurdle to overcome. Other efforts to topple Theresa May include local Conservative Party associations signing a petition, and they'll have an emergency meeting, and they might themselves vote no confidence in Theresa May, but that again will be just symbolic. Nothing compels Theresa May to exit the stage as a result of that. And what you have to remember in this process is that really the normal rules of governance are not applying. In any normal situation, if Theresa May or any Prime Minister lost 3 votes in Parliament, it would be curtains for them. Similarly, there's open rebellion within her cabinet. She has, signalled that her withdrawal agreement, once that's ratified, she will exit the stage. She's trying to make that her legacy. And if you listen to the date that some of these people on the 1922 committee are talking about, June, it's actually a long way away, and there's plenty of more other hurdles for her to overcome, notably the local elections and indeed the European elections, whether indeed they take place or perhaps, and it's a big maybe, the withdrawal agreement will be ratified before then. They won't have to.